I brought this video together in response to an exhibition by Sofia Barton on the intersection of neurodivergent experience and Punjabi perspectives on death, ancestry, and the power of memory. Death Magic is a show that explores roots, legacy, and how the essence of loved ones remains woven into the fabric of our lives. It invites contemplation on the delicate connections between life and remembrance. Sophia undertakes deep investigations into queer identity and the enduring legacies of colonialism, profoundly informed by her dual heritage. She illuminates the multifaceted experiences of individuals and communities, shaped by shared histories and post-partition narratives. These themes brought so many images and intimacies to mind, the colours and patterns and textures we begin to associate with the caregivers of our youth, who were often raised in very different times and spaces, with expectations and rituals that might feel alien to us, like relics of the past existing in our present. Domestic objects from the 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s that still rest in the homes of grandparents, that we form nostalgic bonds with, that we either covet or rebel against. The connection I began to make with my own artistic work was to think about oilcloth, a fabric I return to time and again, using it as a material to craft with haphazardly. But it's the social space it occupies, vibrant but often unseen in our homes, that lures me back to it so often. It's a material which developed out of necessity and was refined over a century. Colloquially known as oilcloth, oilskin, enamelled cloth, American cloth, vinyl, wax cloth, waterproof cloth, plasticized fabric, floor cloth, lino, PVC tablecloth, plastic tablecloth, wipe clean tablecloth, or tarp. It is a fabric, generally cotton or linen, covered or infused with a substance to rubberize and make it waterproof. Traditionally, this was achieved by using layers of drying linseed oil. As manufacturing processes evolved, this was replaced with PVC, which was presumably cheaper and more straightforward to fabricate. Outsourcing harmful chemical processes to factories out of sight in foreign lands. The use of linseed oil has come back into fashion in more recent years, as some consumers become more invested in the provenance and sustainability of their purchases. Whichever method of waterproofing is used, the fabric is most commonly referred to as oilcloth. The rich smells of the processes used to seal it evoke a time when we would wriggle on wipe clean surfaces ourselves, testing and biting them with our mouths, the touch of them in our brand new fingers. We find this material in domestic, leisure, and creative environments, soft play centres, greasy spoon cafes, thrown over a table or floor to enable work or play, or to simply protect the precious items beneath. A fabric made to protect, to be easily cleaned, to assist in the hygienic keeping of house, to preserve hard-won furniture. It's not quite hard-wearing enough to be used in manual labour, or to live outside open to the elements. Its clean underside stains easily. The development, industrialisation, and subsequent rise in its popularity appears to follow a similar timeline to research and awareness of neurological difference, both becoming part of the cultural conversation between the 1860s and the 1950s. Oilcloth is connected to the giving and receiving of care, and puts me in mind Varsili Dokumasi's theory of activist affordances, which details how disabled people build accessible worlds in and through the unspectacular choreographies of the everyday. Oilcloth's jaunty appearance seems to signal, to me, slow shifts in society, making it increasingly incrementally supportive of difference, nourishing and stimulating children rather than hiding them from view, providing housing, stability, and independence for the disabled instead of putting them to work in some other part of the poorhouse, and welcoming immigrants who bring their own cultures and approaches to home life. For a long time, I'd wanted to gather instances of oilcloth being used on film, resting on top to protect what's underneath, a cheap and cheering reminder that it's fine to make a mess. I started scouring my memory of cinema and TV. Where had I spotted these shiny surfaces? I soon realised YouTube was what I needed. This living archive of moving image, captured and shared in different registers for many and varied a purpose. Most people don't just record their everyday lives, or if they do, they're unlikely to make their tablecloth the main event. But I follow a thread down the rabbit warren, finding documents of a day in the life, or everything I ate in a week, or how to make local style persimmon cake, or dinner in a mountain hut. At first I was disappointed. Oilcloth wasn't as present as I'd hoped. I hate it when that happens, when you have an idea and then realise the reality is quite different. I'd banked on the ubiquity of this domestic material, but when digging through lives, I found no trace. Perhaps that's part of why I love it. It's a fabric that's sold in every city and town, but it's losing its place or its appeal. Maybe cleaning products and protective finishes are slowly making it obsolete. Or our tastes have simply changed. We prefer a bare table now, or at least we do when we pick up a camera. But after a while, the oilcloth started appearing. As I went deeper into the search, I found more and more videos of people's grandparents. Are we all drawn to document these figures in our lives, and the order and routine of their well-trodden days? In my early artistic life, I was drawn to my Nana as a subject. I photographed her for my A-levels, and I filmed her and her flower arranging group when I returned to art education in my late 20s. She is part of the silent generation. Their stoic adherence to principles beyond my knowledge feels inspiring and completely out of reach. Yet they manage it every single day to return to practices that clearly comfort them. Sofia's work is full of sumptuous patterns. It seemed right to find a visual form that reflects this, intercutting the vibrancy and specificity of human lives. Thank you to every YouTuber for capturing something that's difficult to value when you're busy living inside it. I try to avoid anything that feels too staged, although clearly that is difficult to know for sure. I'm drawn in by the ones that feel somehow authentic. Maybe they insist on using the best crockery, or remove some clutter from the edges of the frame, but by insisting on the ordinariness of their subjects, we see glimpses of the memories we will one day treasure most, and wish we'd captured more of. I tried to avoid anything AI generated, although it's getting harder to tell. Some people will use an AI-enhanced screenshot for the thumbnail, but once you click through, it's handheld gold. I wanted to avoid romanticizing deep poverty or patriarchal labour, but the truth of our lives is that women still provide the majority of this work. Some of the videos are purposefully aesthetic, capturing lives from artful angles, while others seem to be simply sharing life, reaching out for connection. Many of the videos were from quite remote, rural lives. They claim to be the normal lives of, for instance, someone living in a mountain village in Azerbaijan. The entire reason they're filming, the entire reason I'm able to peek into these domestic worlds, is because the life there is worthy of note. It is simpler than most. It is pared back. It is quieter, more peaceful, away from the hustle and bustle of the city. Even if the video is set in the city, it aims to capture a cocoon of calm and tranquility inside the home. Many capture routines a lot of us are out of touch with now. Catching and picking our own food, washing it, sorting it, preserving it. Processes that some of us play at, dipping a toe in, but not needing them for survival. We've been separated from these harsh but grounding realities by the convenience of capital. It's hard to resist a feeling of nostalgia, households that still connect to the earth outside their door, because the floor is a work surface like any other. Covering it over with yet another bright and handy cloth to protect both the floor and what we're working on, to create an area of activity. I had to be wary of the trad wife content. They often look quite similar to the rest, but with a sinister motive. All the domestic routines and decor are entrancing, but I limit myself to focus on the food and meal preparation, and the laying of many types of table. This stuff of life might seem at odds with themes of death, but these small daily acts remain woven into us, long after the people who undertook that work are gone. As Angela Garbez says in her book Essential Labour, nothing has ever felt more real to me than the work of caring. That energy and effort to maintain ourselves, our loved ones, our community, has always felt substantial, true, visceral, and, yes, real to me. It is central to all things, yet hides in plain sight. It's work that Garbez says came to be seen as naturally female, which is to say, invisible and undervalued. So many of our ceremonies of life and death are tied up with food. Those of us who are neurodivergent have to create our own food rituals to ensure we eat the right amount on a regular basis. There can be pain at this place with our families, who know us deeply but sometimes refuse to accept parts of us they might not understand, narratives that don't fit neatly. But love and connection persist. We are the care we receive and what we are fed by our families. I'm aware as I'm editing this video that people around the world, in Sudan, in Gaza, in Congo, in Haiti, are unable to access food. It's unspeakably horrible. But we try to help by sending money. The efforts to deliver aid through grassroots networks is the only thing that brings hope. While I've been writing this, I noticed that Mira Soda just posted on Instagram. As a mother, a cook, and a human, I can't imagine my loved ones starving and having to say, "Sorry, I have nothing for you to eat, my loves, but don't go out to find food. You might get killed. Instead, let's all die slowly inside." How many of us long to prepare a nourishing meal for everyone separated from aid by colonial forces?